So grab your rice and beans, cooked beans, and let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hi friends, so today we're making rice and beans. So all you need is basically rice and beans. We're going to make them in 3 ways and I hope you would like it. Plain rice and beans is popular in Kenya, served with slices of avocado, but it's also a comfort food for the Latino communities. Today we incorporate some ideas from the Latino as well as those from Kenya, and let's see what we can make. So let's get into it. First off, we start with the simple rice and beans from Kenya. So to a pot on medium heat, we're going to fry our onions and garlic until golden brown. Then we can add in our spices. Today we're using coriander powder and let it bloom for about a minute or so. Then we'll add about a half a cup of strained tomatoes or tomato paste. I'm using a natural one in this case. To that we'll add a tablespoon of coconut cream and half a cup of water and leave it to cook for about 2 minutes before adding in the beans. Now here's a trick to make the soup more thicker. Go in with your wooden spoon and mash some of the beans. I got this trick from my mom, so when done, simmer for about a minute or two and then it's ready to serve and enjoy. My rice is already done at this point, so I'm just going to serve and I'm going to add a slice of lemon for that tangy taste, but this is optional, you don't have to. And you're ready to dig in. For the second recipe, we will mimic Chipotle's cilantro lime rice. To a pot on medium heat, we will cook 1 cup of rice according to package instructions with some olive oil and some salt. And while that is cooking away, we're going to prepare some black beans and mushrooms meanwhile to save the time. We just need to wash the beans as we're not frying them in this recipe. I am using some fleshy portobello mushrooms, but you can use any that you have at hand. We'll slice this and get them ready for frying up. To a large pan on medium heat, we'll add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then comes in the mushrooms and some salt to taste. And we're going to leave this to fry until golden brown on one side before we can turn them. While the mushrooms are frying and the rice is cooking, we'll make some guacamole. For this you need a handful of cilantro or coriander. I didn't find any, so I'm using parsley. We'll chop this up and set in a bowl. We'll then dice half of a red onion, slice up the avocado and scoop it all into a dish and get ready to mash. We'll season our guacamole with the juice of half of a lemon and some salt. We'll mash this together until we get a finer consistency. I like mine with some chunks, so you can leave yours as well. When done, wrap this with a plastic paper, set in the fridge until cooking is done. And now it's time to check on the mushrooms and give them a toast so that they can cook on the other side as well. And while the other side cooks up and the rice is finishing up, we're going to make some lemon zest for the rice. To finish up the rice, add in your cilantro, your lemon zest, and squeeze out the juice from the lemon into the rice. Remove from the stove and cover for about 2 minutes before mixing well and set aside, and it should be ready to serve. Check on the mushrooms again and adjust the seasoning if need be. When the mushrooms are brown on every side, we are ready to serve. And now to the fun part. To assemble, start with your rice as the base and then put all of your toppings carefully and decoratively as you would like. And don't forget your guacamole, and breakfast is served. Our third rice bowl is the vegan version of the Kenyan Pilau. And to start off the dish, we will wash some corn and black beans and set aside. So to a pot on medium heat, we'll add a tablespoon or two of olive oil followed by red onions. We'll fry this until translucent before adding in our garlic. Cook this for about a minute before adding in your spices. Now if you're in Kenya and can get the pilau masala, please use that. I'm using garam, paprika, coriander powder and a little bit of chili powder. Let the spices bloom for a minute before adding in your bell peppers. Cook the bell peppers for about 2 minutes until they soften. After 2 minutes, my pan is dry and I'm adding a splash of water to deglaze the pan. We'll then add 1 cup of tomato paste or tomato puree, stir well and simmer for about a minute. We're then going to add in the corn, the black beans, the rice and 1 teaspoon of salt. We'll mix this together before adding in 2 cups of water. Cover the pot and let it simmer until tender on low. And while that is cooking away, we're going to prepare our toppings. We're simply going to chop up some chives and a handful of parsley. Slice a lemon in half in readiness for garnishing. After about 15 minutes, our rice should be done. Now it's time to add in the parsley, the chives, and half of the lemon juice. Gently mix this together and this is ready for serving up. Scoop a generous amount into a bowl and top with some avocado or slices of lemon. So I hope you enjoyed. I did. The African Veggie is signing off. I'll see you in the next video. I love cooking, so you know. And grab your rice. So grab your rice and beans, cooked beans, and let's get into it. Let's get into it. Bye guys. Until then, the African Veggie is signing off. I'll see you in the next video.